Well, the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies has asked for a referendum for the resolutions of the ongoing national conference in Abuja. The Director General of the Institute, Professor Epiphany Ezinge, said subjecting the outcome of the national conference to a referendum will deepen the nation's democracy and increase people's interest in governance. He called for the enactment of a referendum act in order to fast-track the use of referendum and plebiscite as a means of participatory democracy.
For and against referendum.
It is a gathering of legal experts at a forum organized by the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies to brainstorm on the legal aspects of referendum and plebiscite. The Director General of the agency advised the federal government to engage more Nigerians in governance through referendum and plebiscite.
Constitutionally or otherwise, it would appear that only in one provision of the Constitution, and that is the provision dealing with the creation of state, is the word referendum ever mentioned. But we are now at a crossroad as to how to ensure that referendum becomes part and parcel of our national life, and if possible, how to navigate the charted waters to know how and when we can invoke referendum, either constitutionally, legislatively, or administratively, as the case may be.
Participants at the forum are, however, divided on the use of referendum as a form of participatory democracy.
What we must note about referendum is that it is a way of making people, the electorate, to be directly involved in the conduct of their own affairs as it has to do with governance.
It's quite a complicated process, but it has been discovered that despite the Swedish sophistication, there are still problems with referendum, especially on what matters can you easily subject to referendum. What are the matters?
Other speakers at the event criticized the present form of representative democracy being practiced in Nigeria, saying it is a tyranny of the majority against the minority.
Every single issue should be the subject of a referendum. What we need to do is to isolate fundamental national questions and subject them to referendum. That does not mean that referendum does not have its challenges.
In Zambia, they have a referendum act which spells out the procedures.
The one-day roundtable, which examines the concept, process and procedure of referendum and the history of plebiscite and referendum in Nigeria, is expected to produce a working document that would make the nation's democracy more participatory.